Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss the brand new 2022 Hulu original film, technically Prey. This is directed by, where's his name? Dan Trachtenberg. Dan did 10 Cloverfield Lane, which was a different installment within the same universe of Cloverfield. What happens next? Who knows? Within Cloverfield. So, Prey is the... Okay, so last year... Those of you who have been with me for a while, last year we did a full Alien and Predator marathon. Okay, so we talked about all 12 films, 7 Alien films, 5 Predator films, 4 Predator films, 6 Alien, 6 Predator. I gotta think about it again because you got Prometheus thrown in the mix as well. Man, I wish I had my book with me. My book has all my lists of stuff. I wrote it down. This is the 13th installment when you start with Alien in 1979, 78, whatever year that was, the very first Alien came out. Now we have the 13th film, and Prey is the 5th Predator movie, or 7th if you include Alien vs. Predator, something like that. My timeline is askew. It happens. I have it written down. It happens. So... this is a very long franchise, right? Very long franchise. We know from Alien and Predator, because it's all canon, right? All the films, all the Alien and Predator films are within the same universe. We've gone through this. We know this. It's not different universes. It's just we know that it's all the same universe. Okay. The timeline is long. So we know that the aliens and the Predators have been around on Earth for thousands of years because the Predators will, create more aliens via that, pyramid in Antarctica to then go on their hunting trip, right? Because that's what the Predators do. We don't know what alien race they are. We don't know what technical planet they're from. We see their planet, but we don't actually know what planet they're from. We don't know what race they are. We don't know what they call themselves, right? So it's interesting knowing that they have history within Earth for thousands of years. And so to have this particular film take place in 1719, the Great Plains, 1719, the fur trade was just starting to come about with the French pioneers, or trackers, if you will, because they would just literally skin the buffalo and leave them there to rot. So we know a specific time period where the Comanche nation was thriving in the Great Plains area at that given point prior to the European disease, basically, aka man, but also like actual disease, like wiping out a lot of the nation. So this is them dealing with the French, but also them now having to deal with this predator who was literally dropped off on from a ship to go on another hunting trip. What's gorgeous about this movie, and this is like a 90-something on Rotten Tomatoes, this is the highest rated Predator film, and it's amazing to see that because this is the 5th/7th/13th installment in a franchise. It's really neat, actually, putting those numbers together. It's impressive because sequels or prequels don't really get that high caliber many a decade later, right? Many a decade after the first installment. So it's cool seeing how much praise this film is actually getting from viewers, from critics alike. 90-something on Rotten Tomatoes for the 7th Predator film. It's who would have thought? This is absolutely amazing. The main character's name is Naru. She is the daughter of the tribe's healer, practices medicine within the different herbs and stuff, and she learns that one of the particular orange flowers lowers the blood temperature. That way it, kind of comas them, but not really, but like doesn't cause the fever. So like she figures out that the predator it sees with heat, so she winds up eating this one flower at the very end, and like they have their massive battle, and bro, it's just so epic. But what's so cool about this is there's so many different elements to it, right? You have the tribe, you have the nation, the Comanche nation itself, you have the French dealing with their tracking of fur trade and such, but then you have the predator going about his hunting bit, but he's learning Earth in this particular section. So he watches a rattlesnake track down a mouse, and then watching the predator get the prey, and then he watches a wolf get the rabbit. The predator gets the prey, and then the predator gets the wolf, and the predator gets the snake, and then he watches the bear get the deer. The predator gets the prey, and he gets the bear, and like all these different things. He's learning the food chain. He's learning the predator and the prey, seeing then the warriors, the Comanche warriors, Naru fighting alongside her brother, different aspects and stuff. She's just supposed to be out collecting herbs, but she can fight. She's got her hatchet. She's tied it with the rope that she made out of vines and such, and like she throws it and she rips it back with the rope to get it, a retractable hatchet, and throws it again and gets it back. It's like it was like watching a video game. It was so awesome being immersed in this land, in this world, in this set in the Great Plains, which was filmed in Canada, but we'll still pretend it's central Northern America. So going into the fights and having the Predator's, you know, face reveal, but having him more like kind of same like tribal kind of outfit, like just a loincloth kind of a thing and like some armor, but not a lot, that we see the very, very first Predator in. That was pretty cool. There was a lot of like neat breaks where like Naru and Predator fought, blood everywhere, go their separate ways, patch themselves up. He has this high-tech alien stuff with the goo, and, you know, you shoot this here and the wound closes. And she has her herbs and stuff, and she just smushes it on the thing to seal the cut, so that way it prevents infection. And then to go about their adventure again, and then fight again, and then break off, and then regroup, and then fight again. It was so awesome from a story perspective, because it built up. And the final battle with her just beating the hell out of him, using his own tech against him, that was just so ingenious. Having the dog Sari be there the entire time as well was pretty awesome. Learning fetch and such, fighting the French, getting taught how to use a handgun from someone who spoke both Comanche and French. That was pretty neat. And so it was just so well done. It was so well done. I can't praise this movie enough. I got chills. I got teary-eyed. I got teary-eyed because of the representation matters. That this is a nation that was pretty much obliterated, and to have them represented on screen kicking some ass against an alien warlord, very cool. Very, very cool. I really appreciate that they used Native actors and actresses to portray Native Americans in the actual film, much of which has been, you know, frustrating as hell when you watch something and a white person is playing someone who's not supposed to be white, and it's frustrating. And I'm glad that we're resolving this. I'm glad that it's shown in this particular film. A thing that really annoyed me, though, and my mood immediately changed after I did some digging, I saw the trailer. All of the natives are speaking perfect English with perfect American accents. And I was like, oh no, not a shot in hell would they have A, learned the English, and B, been able to speak that way, because it would have been a different dialect than it would have been now. So I was like, why in the hell are these people wearing this tribal affair that you have Native Americans casted, but they're speaking English? That's not a thing. If this was 1719, they wouldn't even know English. They might know some French. And I was actually correct, because I didn't know the French were in this movie. I just know certain aspects of history. So it was pretty cool then reading, and Dan did a lot of interviews. Dan Trachtenberg, with the director, and he said, you know, we heavily went back and forth with this. Should we just film it in English? Should we do it in Comanche with English subtitles? How do you please the general public? Well, the general public complains excessively about subtitles. So they said that they were going to film it in English. The characters were going to speak their English. The French characters were going to speak their French. Predator was just going to do his clicks and his hisses and screams and stuff. But the actors and actresses would then do Comanche dub. So there's a Comanche dub version on Hulu, which I watched. So you have the English subtitles, and you see their mouths moving in English, and you read the English words, but you hear the Comanche language. And that was cool because it was immersive. But it was really more like, because I've never done that before, watching someone's mouth move correlating to what was actually translated via subtitle, but the audible is different. So it's kind of like that experiment you do in middle school, where like you write all the colors down, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, but you write it in different colors. So like the word red is written in purple and the word orange is written in yellow, and like it plays with your brain. And that's kind of what it felt like, reading the English, watching the English, but hearing the Comanche. So it was very interesting with the different scents playing on each other. It's very cool. So my mood immediately changed after I read that interview with Dan, because I was like, okay, I will watch it then in Comanche, because that is exactly how it should be in general. So it was just so cool watching it in a language I'm not familiar with. Just with the immersion and the subtitles and you know, the action adventure thriller aspect of it in general, it was just so cool. My only complaint though with the Comanche version is the French was not translated. So the French words that the actors were saying, you audibly heard the French, and then the subtitle was in French. So, like, when the guy screams out, "Idiot sauvage," right, you know that they're screaming "Idiot savage," right? Because that's an obvious translation. Latin pretty much sums up Italian, French, and Spanish, which hybrided somehow into English. So, "Idiot sauvage," right? We know that as "Idiot savage." So the guy screaming "Idiot savage" at, Nauru, the Native American, I didn't have to really need that interpreted because I understood that. But there are words where I don't speak French. I don't speak Comanche. I need the subtitles. So the next time I watch this movie, which will be very soon because this was my favorite Predator film, hands down, no question, is I will watch the English version because I'm very curious how the English dialect is going to translate. But the Comanche version, bro, it was so real. It was authentic, and I really want to know what the Comanche Nation representatives liked or disliked about this film, representing the nation as itself, representing the time period, 1719 as itself. I'm very curious. So I'm very excited that this was a well-received prequel, 5th, 7th, 13th installment within a massive film series. And so I'm very curious what happens next. I'm very curious if Dan is going to be able to do a sequel to this next. Let's stay with Comanche. This was awesome. What happens next? Is Nauru going to be the next chief? Like, are they going to have another alien battle going on? Revenge for their brother? Who knows? So many things can happen. I'm very curious if they take her on a ship, bring her to their own planet. Like, what would happen? Oh, it would be so cool. This movie was absolutely amazing, and to have all the animals have the predator and prey throughout the film, and then have the predator and prey be their walking and talking bipedal selves. Oh, it was just so meta. I can't stress how important this movie is for many reasons. I can't stress how amazing this movie is for many reasons. On to the next review. Mucho mahalo.